In the 1800s, a growing community of immigrants from France called Northeast Pennsylvania home, and they brought with them the best in French cuisine. This led to world-renowned establishments like the Hotel Faucher and Hotel Schanno. The Hotel Faucher has been restored to its former splendor with a number of tasteful updates to the building and technology. But we'll save that tale for another time. This is the story of the rise and fall of the Hotel Schanno. The Schanno family lived in Alsace, France for hundreds of years. But in the French-Persian War of 1870, Germany took Alsace from France, and Émile Schanno lost everything he owned. Not wanting his sons to serve in the German army, he brought his family to America in 1876 and settled in Dingman's Ferry. A few years later, Émile purchased a small hotel near Milford and operated the business until his passing in 1883. His children, Paul, Charles, Joe, and Anna, continued to run the business. The main business at the time focused on summer boarders who left the sweltering cities in the East Coast and traveled to the hotels and boarding houses of the Pocono Mountains for the cooler temperatures and fresh air. The Schanno family had everything they needed to run the hotel on their 25-acre property located a short distance from Raymond's Kill Falls. During the winter, they harvested ice from a pond on the property, and in the summer, planted an excellent garden to grow their own food. They also raised their own livestock to provide eggs and meat for the restaurant. It didn't take long for the fine reputation of the hotel and its food to spread throughout the East Coast, resulting in it being nicknamed the Little Delmonico after the famed New York City eatery. Activities at the hotel included bathing, boating, hiking, relaxation, and of course, eating. The trout fishing in the nearby brook was legendary, and local papers carried stories of record catches by Hotel Schanno guests. Riding wheels and bicycles gained popularity during this time, and on one summer day in 1896, over 600 bicycles, or wheelmen as they were often referred to, passed through Milford bound for nearby hotels and destinations. Coach parties were another favorite pastime in the Poconos. Large coaches with room for a number of people and drawn by 4 horses would travel from towns to various hotels and attractions for dinner and drinks. Hay or straw rides were also popular during the fall harvest. At the end of the summer, boarders would return to the cities, and hunters would then flock to the boarding houses for deer and bear hunting season. Local game was a part of the excellent menu found at the Hotel Schanno. During the winter in the off-season, the Schanno family lived on the property, and guests would drop by for holidays, events, and special dinners. Horse-drawn sleigh or bobsled parties would travel from local towns to Dingman's Ferry. The most prosperous period for the Schanno Hotel ran from 1890 until 1920. During this time, there were several rounds of renovations and improvements. In 1897, a 1,000 square foot addition was added to the structure to house a new kitchen. The improvements doubled the number of guests the hotel could accommodate to around 75, and made the hotel one of the best appointed summer resorts in northeastern Pennsylvania. A New York Times article predicted that the summer of 1903 would be the Hotel Schanno's best season to date. In October of 1903, the Delaware River flooded and the Hotel Schanno was underwater up to the porch roof. In December of 1903, the hotel was sold to Louis Bedell, and despite the flood damage, the hotel was restored and opened for the 1904 season. By the end of 1905, the hotel was back in the Schanno family, run by Albert and Mary Louise Cotterill, the sister of Paul Schanno. In the early 1900s, baseball was popular, and Albert was the captain of the local team, called the New York and Pennsylvania Giants. He also installed an acetylene plant and a heating apparatus to the hotel, so it could remain open year-round, making it the best winter-equipped resort in the country. The hotel was full over the winter season. The next few years held many challenges for the family. In 1908, a forest fire raged near the property. Severe storms passed through the area causing damage, and Paul Schanno died of pneumonia in 1910. 11 years earlier, in April of 1899, Paul's infant son also died of pneumonia at the Hotel Schanno. After Paul's death, ownership of the hotel changed to Charles and Anna, Paul's brother and sister. Business continued to be strong until the United States joined World War I and Prohibition went into effect in the 1920s. Prohibition resulted in the slackening of business throughout the Pocono Mountains. But for those in the know, there were several establishments that continued to serve alcohol in the Poconos, making them a welcome oasis in a dry land. It was during this time that the airship Los Angeles flew over Pike County and was visible by the guests of the hotel. By this time, many of the Schanno family were involved in running other hotels in the area, like the Riverside Hotel, Milford Inn, and the Maple Grove House in Bushkill, with Leo in charge of the Hotel Schanno. When Gifford Pinchot was elected governor of Pennsylvania and planning to return to Gray Towers in Milford to reside, he was under criticism for the widespread disregard for prohibition in the Pocono Mountains. As a result, he vowed to make the area the driest spot in Pennsylvania. On August 2, 1923, 14 state police infiltrated the Milford area undercover, dressed as tourists. They visited all the local hotels and restaurants, attempting to order alcoholic drinks such as dry martinis and gin rickeys. As a result of this raid, Leon Schanno, proprietor of the Schanno Hotel, was one of 4 business owners arrested and held on $1,000 bail for selling liquor and illegally having it in his possession. Before the raid, the Hotel Schanno was the favorite restaurant of the previous governor, and many prominent Republicans and Democrats could always be found in attendance. The Great Depression of the 1930s continued to hurt business, even after the repeal of Prohibition. In 1933, Joe Schanno dies at the Schanno House, and his brother Leon passes away a few years later. The hotel then passes to Paul Schanno's daughter, Madeline, and her husband Charles Goldenson. For over 20 years and a Second World War, they continued to run the business until 1955, although it never recovered its former glory. In the 1940s, local papers carried classified ads for items being sold from the hotel, including cars, refrigerators, fur coats, and even the steel bridge at the hotel. Many factors changed the way Americans vacationed following World War II. Air conditioning technology, widespread ownership of cars, changes to railroads, disappearance of the light rail, and air travel all changed when and where people traveled, and exotic destinations became more accessible. The Great Flood of 1955 wreaked havoc along the Delaware River, washing out roads, destroying bridges, as well as doing millions of dollars of property damage. And once again, the Schanno house was underwater. Following the flood, Madeline sold the business to Vincent Manna, just as the Pocono Mountains was becoming recognized as the honeymoon capital of the world, and the Hotel Schanno shifted its business to focus on honeymoons and weddings. When the honeymoon was over and the attraction to the Poconos faded, the hotel's business shifted to meetings, events, and celebrations. And in 1961, Manna dies at the hotel where he was spending the weekend. A few years later, in 1965, the Manna family sells the business to Larry and John Hoey, and they leased the hotel to Joe and Virginia Spandora, who renamed the hotel the Schanno House. In 1972, the hotel was acquired by the Army Corps of Engineers as a part of the Tox Island Dam. The entire area was to be flooded for a large hydroelectric dam project. Due to public outcry, the dam was never built, and the Army Corps continued to honor the Splendora's lease. They continued to run the hotel, and Joe Splendora used one of the large first-floor rooms for his artist studio. Eventually, the land became a part of the Delaware Water Gap National Park. The National Park Service continued to honor his lease under the condition that he would not rent rooms as they were considered unsafe. But they continued to rent rooms in order to keep their liquor license. And in 1984, the National Park Service shut down the business, and the building remained empty for the next 6 years. In 1990, the story of this grand hotel, a stone's throw from Raymond's Falls, came to an end as the empty structure was burned by arsonists. All that remains is a small stone pillar and the steel bridge leading to the property. You can still travel the McDade Trail in the Delaware Water Gap National Park and walk by the site of the Hotel Schanno, imagining over a century of history on the way to Raymond's Falls, right here in the Pocono Mountains.
Hi, I'm Lorraine Collins with Davis R. Chant Realtors. With over 50 years of serving the Lake Wallenpaupack region, Chant Realtors sells more homes by volume than any other realtor in the area. The Lake Wallenpaupack area is an attractive place to live because of its low taxes, great school districts, and beautiful scenery. Agents at Davis R. Chant Realtors have an extensive knowledge of the local market and experience with everyone from first-time home buyers to experienced investors. Chant uses a variety of print media, billboards, open houses, and national websites to promote properties and reach buyers. We work with sellers to put together a thoughtful but aggressive market plan tailored to each home individually. Here at Chant, we know that working together and providing channels of communication and feedback is important for the best outcome when selling your home. We provide a unique feature called Seller's Dashboard to our sellers, which allow you to view up-to-the-minute online information about your home, including how it is being marketed, how often it is being shown, and notes from agents and buyers. If you are ready to relocate, upgrade, downsize, or know anyone who is considering the Lake region, please stop by or call Davis R. Chant Realtors at 570-226-4518 or visit us online at chantre.com.
i2 Print is your premium printing service for all your professional printing needs. We'll help you throughout the printing process from design to distribution. With bookbinding abilities, we'll be able to help you get the word out or promote your business with branded assets and products. i2 Print offers top quality print products at competitive prices with quick turnaround and fast delivery. From business cards, large format posters, brochures, and wrap cards to annual reports, i2 Print can print everything you need to promote your product, service, and business. With the best printing technology available today, we live up to our tag: service, speed, and success. Choose i2 Print for your next printing project.
Living a healthy Pocono life means making smart food choices. Choosing foods that meet your health goals based on the amount of protein, fat, and carbohydrates they contain contributes to a healthier life. Here are a few tips to help make some immediate changes. 1. To lose weight and keep it off? Make permanent lifestyle changes slowly and over time. Extra weight is put on over time, so expect it to take some time to drop any excess weight. A healthy rate of weight loss is 1 to 2 pounds per week. Start by making small changes. For example, if you eat high-calorie fast food 3 times a week, reduce that to twice a week, and over time, replace unhealthy processed foods with natural whole foods. Prioritize making your own healthy meals to eat at home or take with you to work. Small lifestyle changes can make a big difference. 2. Count calories. Although counting calories itself is not always accurate, The process accomplishes something very important. It creates an awareness of the types of food you eat on a daily basis, and you automatically begin to make better choices. When we started the Living a Healthy Pocono Life series, the intention was not to just offer tips, but to actually follow the guidelines and see if these tips actually made a difference. Our journey started January 12th with 3 decisions. 1. Start tracking what we were eating. 2. Be more active and get increased cardio-based exercise. And 3. Increase muscle to aid in losing weight. Our team researched and downloaded a free app called Lose It to track our calories and purchased a smart scale to track our progress. This app allows us to enter all the food we eat and provides a breakdown of the amount of protein, fat, carbohydrates, saturated fat, fiber, and sugars, as well as other nutrients. Being mainly vegetarian, our Wally Life team thought we were on the healthy side, but at an average of 194 pounds, we were a good 20 pounds overweight, according to the CDC website. When we started to use the app to track calories, it was obvious that not only were we overeating, but the foods that we were eating were high in fat, sugar, and carbohydrates. Using the app created an awareness that led to a change in deciding which foods to eat. We can also enter a food into the app before we eat or buy it to see the effect it would have on our goals. Our third tip is to cut down on sugar. Prior to using the app to track the foods we eat, we would have said our overall consumption of sugar was low. But it was exactly the opposite. And we were surprised by how much of the food we eat contains high amounts of sugar. This is important because excess sugar consumption converts to fat. Not only is it a problem in weight loss, but according to WebMD.com, excess sugar may also lead to a fatty liver disease and inflammation, which increases the risk for heart disease. Slowly reduce your consumption of soda, energy drinks, juices, and candy. Also check the products that you buy for added sugars. While some natural sugars are more healthy than processed sugars, it is important to be aware of your sugar intake. Tip number 4. Find reasons to get up and increase your activity. And if you're not getting much exercise during the winter, think about indoor exercise, using a treadmill, stationary bike, rowing machine, or other type of exercise equipment for your home. One of the fastest growing trends is exercising using virtual reality. Using this technology can be more enjoyable by using dance, games, exercise programs that offer a chance to explore the world or alien landscapes to encourage movement. Many people that do not like to exercise are able to meet their goals using virtual reality because it's more fun than work. Suggestion number 5. Increase the amount of muscle in your body through weight training. Options can include joining a gym, investing in a home gym, discovering activities like yoga, Pilates, or strength training exercise classes or programs. Muscle burns more calories in your body than fat, so the more muscle you have, the more calories you burn. Before you begin any exercise program, consult your physician to determine if your physical condition will allow you to meet your training goals and to make sure that you can safely begin an exercise program. Here are 5 exercises you can do at home to build strength and muscle without equipment. Push-ups. Use your body weight to push up from the floor. It is important to keep your body straight and begin slowly. If needed, you can modify the exercise to make it easier until you build up strength. Sit-ups. Lying on your back with your knees up, slowly curl up, reaching past your knees to work on your abdominal muscles. You can increase the difficulty over time by crossing your arms over your chest and also raising your legs. Back leg lifts. Start on your hands and knees and lift your legs behind you. There are several variations of this exercise, and you can experiment to find the ones that work best for you, or consult an online trainer, or consider a training session at a gym. Front leg raises. Lay on your back and raise your legs alternating sides as you perform this exercise. A variation of this exercise can also be done lying on your side. Squats. From a standing position, place your feet shoulder-width apart and slowly lower yourself into a crouching position. Proper form is more important than the number of reps you are able to do. If you need to increase the difficulty of the exercise, you can do so by increasing the number of reps and sets that you do, add weight, or increase resistance. If you're interested in trying an activity like yoga, the Pocono Mountains is home to one of the best online yoga programs in the world, offered by Yoga International and based in Honesdale. You can try several different types of exercise to see what works for you and to make sure that you enjoy the activity. The bottom line is, if you don't enjoy it, then you won't do it. So, do these tips actually work? Our team tracked the food that we ate, made small lifestyle changes, started regular exercising indoors about 3 times a week, reduced alcohol and sugar consumption, drank more water, and started weight training using light dumbbells. We lost an average of 10 pounds per person, reduced our waistlines by an inch, and increased our body's muscle mass by 1%. We also reduced our metabolic age by an average of 2 years, showing that our body's metabolism is becoming more efficient. Join us next month as we continue our journey to live a healthy Pocono life. The Sterling Business and Technology Park is currently divided into 23 lots ranging in size from 3 to 30 acres. Each lot in the park is KOZ certified for companies that qualify. The Sterling Business and Technology Park is perfectly located just off Exit 17 on Interstate 84 in northeastern Pennsylvania, just under 2 hours from New York City. If you would like to explore locating your business at Sterling Business and Technology Park, visit sterlingbusinesspark.com.
So, you want to know what this whole Freedom Boat Club thing is all about? Simply put, we're a club that makes boating, well, simple. Here's how it works. You join the club, you pay a one-time membership fee, and then monthly dues from there on out. And instantly, you get access to a fleet of boats. As a member, their entire fleet is at your disposal. All those things you imagine boating to be suddenly become reality. When you're done, you simply head back to the dock where the boat club staff will be waiting. Leave the boat with them, and that's it.
You know, I'm kind of tired of being online all the time. School and hanging out online on video games with my friends. Why don't we take our jacket and head outside and see what we could do? Hey guys, I am here at Ski Big Bear at Massasoit Mountain, and I'm gonna get a snowboard lesson.
How's it going, Zoe? I'm Nick. I'm gonna be your instructor today. Have you ever snowboarded before?
No.
No, this is your first time?
I started off my first ever snowboard lesson by meeting my instructor, Nick. He went over some of the basics.
So this part right here is your heel edge. This part is your toe edge. You see the metal pieces that go all the way around? That's what's gonna help you turn, stop, slow down.
Then it was time to get on the board. Nick showed me how to move around and walk. It was a little hard to balance at first.
There you go. You all right?
Yeah. It's okay though. Learning to fall and get back up is the next part of the lesson.
Perfect.
Okay, it's time to start surfing on the snow. After a few practice runs on the flat ground outside the snow sports school, it was time to head over to the beginner slope. There were lots of kids my age and younger learning to ski or snowboard, and that gave me a boost of confidence. I had some slips and falls, but I made it down the hill. My instructor, Nick, gave an update on my progress.
Especially with new people who have never snowboarded before, it's hard to get that edge control and not lean back or forwards when they're digging those edges in. So right now Zoe just needs to work a little bit on keeping her head and shoulders over that board and learning to get that balance down.
One of the fun things once you make it down the hill is riding the magic carpet back up to the top.
So you don't actually have to get on a chairlift to go up the mountain, which could be intimidating to a new skier, but you know, after you do the magic carpet a few times and you do that easier run, and then you're excited to actually get on that chairlift and take that big ride in the sky, you know, and go on a more advanced trail.
Ski Big Bear at Masthope Mountain has a great snow sports school if you're looking to head out for the first time. To book your next lesson, head to skibigbear.com.
And it is a great family activity. Mom and Dad and the kids can get out here together and take a group lesson or a private lesson individually. They can progress at their own individual rate.
Try to keep those toes up, all right?
I learned a lot in my 1 hour lesson, and hopefully next time I hit the slopes, I can carve the mountain like plenty of skiers and snowboarders were. Hey guys, I had a lot of fun here getting snowboard lesson and everything. You guys could come out too and get a snowboard lesson or have some fun over here. I'm Zoe Gregory for the Pocono Television Network.
Since the first steam locomotive departed the station in 1829, the railroad has been a way of life and an important economic driver in the northern Pocono Mountains. Today, we hop on board the Stourbridge Line for the Easter Bunny Flyer and learn about the train's past and present.
So we're on our Easter Bunny Flyer today, and it's a 1 hour trip that the Easter Bunny hippie hops through the train, visiting with all the boys and girls. I do story time with the conductor. I go from each car and read an Easter story, and all the kids get a little gift, and it's a nice, relaxing 1 hour trip that people get to see the bunny and be together as a family. So we start our weekly schedule near the end of June, once all the schools get out and such, that we'll run Wednesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays. Our Wednesday trip is an hour and a half, what we call our Pocono Express, from Honesdale to Holly and back. That departs at 1 o'clock on Wednesdays. Along with that, we team up with our friends over at Northeast Wilderness Experience. We offer a river and rails excursion. You can kayak the Lackawaxen River in the morning from Honesdale to White Mills, and you get out off the river about the same time, ironically, the train comes through. We pick you up on the train, take you to Holly, and bring you back to Honesdale. You also can board the train in Holly and come to White Mills, where you can kayak the Lackawaxen from White Mills to Holly as well. And then on our Saturdays, we do a Saturday morning Pocono Express to Honesdale to Holly, a trip again at 10 o'clock. And then at 1 o'clock, we have our Lackawaxen Limited. That's our 3.5 hour, 50-mile round trip. We do the entire length of the railroad from Honesdale to Lackawaxen. And then on Sundays, we have our Glen Air Limited, and that's a 2.5 hour trip. And then we go from Honesdale to Glen Air, a little bit short of Lackawaxen. And it's a nice little short trip that you get to see the Lackawaxen, the river gorge throughout. Once we get past Holly and past the hydroelectric plant for Lake Wallenpaupack, go through 2 of our rock cuts, and it's just a great, nice, relaxing trip for a Sunday afternoon.
Tune in to Wally Life every Monday at 9 p.m. on Blue Ridge Communications Channel 13 for the latest in life around Lake Wallenpaupack.